All right, let's talk about the most exciting, most dangerous, and maybe the most chaotic piece of software to come out of 2026. This is the story of OpenClaw. It's about what happens when you give something incredibly powerful to millions of people before anyone, and I mean anyone, really understands what it's going to do when you're not looking. And man, what a wild ride it was. In less than 2 months, OpenClaw went from this viral miracle worker that could literally negotiate a car deal for you to an absolute liability that wiped a top executive's inbox, hijacked thousands of computers, and even sparked a fake religion. And then it gets bought by OpenAI. It was just pure chaos.
So to really get why OpenClaw was such a big deal, you have to understand one massive crucial difference. For the longest time, we've thought of AI as, a text box. You type something, it types back. But OpenClaw wasn't a chatbot. It was something else entirely. It was an agent.
And this is the whole game changer right here. A chatbot, that's just a conversation. You ask for info, it gives you info. But then you still have to go do the work. An AI agent like OpenClaw is totally different. It's more like a digital employee. You give it a goal, and it doesn't just talk about it. It goes out and acts on it. It does the work for you. So how does it pull that off? Well, its creator, Peter Steinberger, basically gave the AI a body. And that body, it's your computer. It gets its virtual hands on everything, your files, your email, your web browser. And here's the kicker. It has a perfect, persistent memory. It remembers everything you've ever told it, so it can start working on stuff for you without you even having to ask. And for about 6 weeks, it was an absolute dream. The early results were genuinely mind-blowing. It really felt like we were getting a glimpse of the future. You know, all those people who were kind of getting bored with AI? Suddenly, they were paying attention. Big time. And this story is the perfect example of why everyone was so hyped. Get this. A user just tells OpenClaw, hey, I want to buy this car. The agent just takes over. It starts researching prices on forums, it finds local dealerships, it starts messaging them and negotiating all by itself. It ended up saving the guy over $4,000. And the best part? The whole time this was happening, the user was literally out having brunch. Unreal. I mean, even the guy who made it was stunned. He sent it a voice message just messing around, a feature he'd never actually programmed into it. And the agent just figured it out. It identified the file type, found some other service online to transcribe it, and then just replied, like it was no big deal. The creator's reaction says it all. He knew he'd built something way more capable than even he understood. But then, the dream started to crack. And the first sign that something was wrong wasn't some big, flashy disaster. No, it was way more boring than that. It was the monthly credit card bill. See, here's the thing nobody was really thinking about. Running these agents isn't free. Every time it thinks, it costs you money. And people found out the hard way that if you just let OpenClaw do its thing without watching it, it could get stuck on a problem, thinking in a loop, and rack up a $90 bill in one day. Suddenly, there's this brand new anxiety. Is my AI running up my credit card right now? Okay, so the money problem was worrying, but the security problem, that was a full-blown catastrophe just waiting to happen. Turns out there's this massive, fundamental flaw baked into the very idea of these agents, a way for that helpful little digital employee to get, well, hijacked. It's a thing called prompt injection, and here's how it works in simple terms. A bad guy can hide a secret instruction inside a web page or an email. When your agent is browsing that page for you, it reads that secret instruction, and it has no idea it's not from you, so it just follows the order. It gets tricked. And just like that, it's not working for you anymore. It's working for the attacker, with full access to your computer and all your files. And get this, just look at these numbers. Security researchers figured out that a crazy 95% of the first users had their agents set up in a way that made these attacks super, super easy. And it wasn't because they were being careless. It's because all the marketing was just, look at this amazing thing it can do. Nobody was talking about the risks. And then all hell broke loose. The failures started piling up, one after another. Meta's own head of AI safety, her entire email archive got deleted by her own agent. Poof, gone. 4,000 developer machines were all compromised at the same time from one bad file. Amazon's internal agents started deleting actual production code. An Australian bank reported a billion, with a B, $1 billion in potential fraud from AI-generated documents. It was totally spiraling out of control. And just when you thought things couldn't possibly get any weirder, they did. The chaos jumped from being a tech problem to a social one. A literal fake AI religion popped up, which just goes to show you sometimes human panic is a crisis all on its own. The media just lost its mind over the thing called Moltbook, a supposed social network for AIs. The headlines were insane. AIs are gaining consciousness. They're writing anti-human manifestos. The reality? Oh, it was so much dumber. It was all a sham. It was just 17,000 people pretending to be AIs online. The so-called manifesto was a post from a forum troll, and the whole site was just a giant scam to collect people's data. So, after all the deleted emails, the billion-dollar fraud scares, and the fake robot religion, what's the lesson here? What does the whole wild story of OpenClaw really tell us? Well, it tells us that right now we're living in a really, really dangerous gap. And here's the central takeaway. The idea behind OpenClaw isn't bad. In fact, the potential for these agents is huge, it's real, and it's powerful. But, and this is a huge but, there is a massive difference between what you see in a slick, controlled demo and what happens when you plug that same tech into your actual life. Your real email, your real bank account, the messy, unpredictable world. That gap, that's where all the chaos comes from. And that leaves us with one last really important question. You've got the engineers, the people who actually built this, and they're working like crazy to try and close that gap, to make it safe. But then you have the marketing departments, and they're in a race too. They're hoping you'll click sign up before you even realize how wide that gap still is. So, what do you think happens next?